enough is enough.
I want the world to be the best place for my children.
You are not alone.
We need renegades to be part of this movement, and they're the ones that are going to change the world.
Welcome back to Renegade Radio, the podcast dedicated to the dissenters of the status quo, bringing you the mindset and strategies to build a healthier, happier, and stronger family, the Renegade way.
It's so important to be a renegade.
Welcome back to Renegade Radio. This is Dr. Todd
And Carolina.
for another episode of FAQ Friday, episode 15. So we have a couple questions here that we'd love to bring your way, and hopefully you listeners will get some value out of it and have similar questions that will add to your repertoire of knowledge. The first question we have is from the lovely Kylie from Perth, and that's in Western Australia, for those of you who might not know where Perth is.
You know, it seems funny that in Australia, Kylie is a very popular name.
Yeah, we know a few Kylies.
Yeah.
It's either Kylie or Sue. We realize those are popular, if you had to guess. Okay, so the question Kylie has for us is, do you and your kids take vitamins? And if so, which ones? And how do you get them to take it? Well, we can certainly relate to that. It's not always easy to get little kids to take vitamins, especially if they look funny or smell funny, and especially if they're in a capsule form. So I'll let Carolina go with that one. Number one, do our kids take vitamins?
Yeah, our kids do take vitamins. We, as a family, take vitamins every morning. We take fish oil and vitamin D drops. And we've been doing that for years, ever since, Tiana was maybe 3 years old, I think, 2 or 3. And we have always done it in a fun way. It's never been time to take your vitamins, or we've never had any fights with it. We've just made it fun, and all right, you're going to take your vitamins, here you go. And they were little at the time, and so you'd kind of have to bend down with your tablespoon full of fish oil. And, it was almost like we were mother birds feeding little baby chicks. And so we'd say, all right, cheep, cheep, open your mouth.
Yeah, it was like, kind of made a game out of it.
Yeah.
And a little caveat here is, with regards to vitamins or supplements, and in this case we're talking about fish oil, is make sure that it's very high quality. Like, you're going to spend an extra few bucks, but don't buy the cheap tubs of stuff, right? You want to get, in this case, with fish oil, which, by the way, the literature is quite clear that there are certain things that we should all be taking if you live in the Western world. And one of those is a supplement of essential fatty acids, omega-3s. So fish oil is one of the best sources of that. And again, you want to make sure that it's pharmaceutical grade, molecularly distilled. We use a brand called Innate Choice. There are other brands out there as well. Many of them you have to get through a health professional. You can't always just go pick them up off the grocery store shelf. But if you look, you'll find it.
And this is the company, the brand, Innate Choice, is the one that we've been using since we first started taking fish oil.
Since the beginning, yeah.
And now we get it shipped to Australia.
If you're pregnant or expecting to become pregnant, we recommend you start then. Like, the sooner you get this into your system and into your kids, because the essential fatty acids are, especially with a developing child, necessary for brain and neurological development. So really, really huge, and our diets tend to be, our modern day diets tend to be deficient in these critical nutrients. They're called essential oils because essential fatty acids, because your body does not produce them. You have to get them from your diet. Cool. So,
and then just to mention another supplement that we do take as a family are probiotics. And the kids, actually more so Tiana, because of her health condition, she's been taking probiotics for a really, really long time. And what we do is we break open the capsule and we'll put it in a little bit of kombucha with maybe a little bit of juice in it. And we say, all right, here's your bugs. Take your bugs this morning. And, I mean, the kids love that. Who wouldn't, what little kid in my opinion, wouldn't want to eat some bugs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun for them.
And just when we say juice, like, it needs to be organic, not reconstituted, and just a very little bit, just to make things palatable. Cause,
oh, yeah. We're talking like not even a centimeter worth of
yeah, and the rest could be
juice.
Water or kombucha or something like that. But low sugar, yeah? The other supplement that we take is vitamin D. Again, the literature is very clear on that unless you're getting 20 minutes of sun on your body every day.
And not washing with soap afterwards.
Straight away, yeah. Then you need to be supplementing. And vitamin D is a pretty inexpensive. Again, you just want to make sure it's a decent quality, but even good quality vitamin D drops are, pennies a day. So.
And what brand do we use?
Also Innate Choice. So high quality is what you want to get. So that's how we get our kids to take it. We just make it fun. We don't make a big deal about it. We also started them very young, so the sooner you start the good habits, the easier it is to keep them. If they're throwing a fit about it, then just hide it in their food. I mean, it's pretty easy. The high quality oils and fish oils, they're really flavorless. So you can just mix it in their food or sprinkle it over their veg or whatever.
Yeah, but I do think in doing that, you sort of miss the big picture of the future with your kids, because your kids are going to grow up to be teenagers and they're going to grow up to be adults. And in my opinion, I don't think that we should be hiding anything nutritious from them, because we need to share with them the facts, and they need to know, and they need to be informed of what they're doing, why they're doing it, the benefits of it. And whereas if you mask it, they're never going to know, and they're never going to develop those good habits. And we might be preventing them from having a healthy future.
Very good point, Carolina. I guess I'm thinking, because we hear these things in our office all the time. Well, little Joey just won't take it. He throws a tantrum and flopping on the floor. And, well, I guess it's let him flop.
Well, I think it's the way that also parents approach it. We've always made good nutrition fun. Even if it's something that we don't really care for. Like, to be honest with you, I don't like peas. I've never liked peas. But my kids have no idea that I don't like peas.
Right.
They don't need to know my opinions.
Right.
I just want them to know that this is a good and healthy food for you. I don't like to eat avocados by themselves. My kids have no idea I don't like to do that. But my kids will eat an entire avocado on its own, because we've always made it fun. Somehow making it fun, make the whole experience, not that it always has to be a game, but just it shouldn't be something that they're afraid of. Yeah.
Agreed. And along those lines, the other vitamins that Carolina and I take are super greens, like the powder. It's basically a whole food. That would be like our version of a multivitamin, right? It's got, dozens and dozens of superfoods, the vast majority of which are organic, and it's dehydrated in a way to preserve all the enzymes and the nutrients and vitamins. So in addition to your already stellar healthy diet, just to make sure you're getting all your micronutrients and such, we would recommend a good super greens powder.
And the one that we use is Nutria Organics here in Australia. So if there's, for those of you that are listening in Australia looking for a good greens, they're Australian owned, Australian made, and the company is called Nutria Organics.
Yep. And I don't particularly like the taste of that, but I don't let my kids know that. I just pound it down. I just scull it down. I don't... People always get hung up on the taste. It's like, well, who cares?
The color.
It's like, it took me 10 seconds to drink it. It's done. And now I know that I got a hit of all these awesome nutrients. So I'm more about the effect. It's not like, you're going out to eat or having a sundae because they taste good. You're just getting your nutrients in because it's better than being sick.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And just real quick, we also take digestive enzymes, and Tiana more so than Bella. So that's not something that as a family we do, but myself and Tiana, we take the digestive enzymes after meals.
Yeah, and that's a good one as well. The second question we have is from Amy from Shreveport. And Amy is asking,
Where's Shreveport?
Louisiana.
All right.
We're wanting to reduce chemicals in our home. Where should we start? So that's a pretty common topic more and more nowadays. People are becoming aware of, toxins in their environment. And obviously the one place you can control more so is your own home.
Your own home.
So thank you, Amy, for sending that in. Well, I guess I'll let Carolina cover this one. There's different things that we tend to use or have that are chemical based. One would be like cleaning solutions.
Home cleaners. Well, I remember when I first started living on my own, and I would clean my house every Thursday. And that smell of bleach and Pine Sol meant to me that my house was clean.
You associate that with clean.
With clean,
yeah,
right.
That's how we're brought up.
And the Windex, which is the window cleaner. Those smells in my mind told me that my home was clean. And then, we started learning about chemicals. We started having children, and we realized that chemicals had no place in our home. And trying to find alternatives for those, I'd go to the grocery store and spend a lot of money on eco-friendly other kind of chemicals, or I don't know, chemical free, I suppose, but it's double the price, triple the price. And so I started thinking, well, what did people used to do before there was a cleaning aisle? I'm sure people would have to worry about, taking bacteria off of their cooking surfaces and cleaning their homes. So anyway, now we just use vinegar, and that's the only thing that we have in our house for a cleaning agent. And we actually, when we were in a practice in Mackay, Queensland, 2 years ago now, Todd was locuming. Remember when we were locuming in that practice, and the cleaning gal came and she was using the chemicals while you were working there, and you said, no, sorry, we can't use these chemicals. They stink up the whole place. And she goes, well, what else are we going to use for the toilets? And you said, well, vinegar, because vinegar is antibacterial and antifungal and antiviral. And she goes, yeah, but how are we going to clean the toilet?
Yeah, she just didn't get it. It's like it has to be, bleach or
and it
some
was like
harsh
weeks
chemical.
that she kept coming at you like, so I'm sorry, what are we going to use to clean the toilet?
Yeah, well, and we can thank, all the corporations and all the marketing that makes us think that we have to have all this
sold.
stuff.
And
so our grandparents used vinegar, maybe some lemon juice.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't
hydrogen
use
peroxide, maybe
lemon
diluted.
juice. The only thing we use is vinegar. That's what I use for the toilets. That's what I use for the surfaces. If I cook, if I'm chopping up raw meat, I just squirt a bunch of diluted vinegar.
Yeah. Well, lemon juice is like a good degreaser, because a lot of the cleaning stuff for your kitchen or on your stove, the degreaser stuff.
Vinegar works just as well.
There you go. You heard it from Carolina.
And I'm very, very thrifty. If I can find a way to save a couple cents on something, I'm going to do it. And buying vinegar in Australia, we buy it by the liter. Buying vinegar by the liter is heaps cheaper than buying the eco-friendly, household cleaners that are available. So we use vinegar for everything.
Yes, and what about our laundry? What do we use there?
Laundry, we are actually very, very fortunate here where we are in Gympie, Queensland, or just Australia in general, I suppose. But there's a town nearby called Kin, and there's a family there that produces laundry detergent and our dishwashing soap. And that's the Kin brand, and they're coconut based.
Yeah. So I guess the take home here is, again, you want to have non-toxic, like the laundry detergents and dryer sheets. Folks, just Google dangers of these things or chemicals, and you'll be blown away how you're washing your clothes in toxins, and you put them on yourself and your kids, and that wonderful fresh smell that you smell
is chemical. And that bubbly action that happens as your clothes are agitating, that's chemical. So really, these are suggestions. And obviously, Amy from Louisiana is already thinking about and having, these questions are being raised to her and she's thinking about things differently. But you need to start thinking about it differently. Like, why is it bubbling? Why does it smell like lavender? Is there really lavender in there?
This is the best stuff ever.
I get headaches when some of our friends come over. I'll have, the kids, some of our kids' friends in the car with us going somewhere, and they'll have clothes that have been washed with regular detergent, and I get a headache. Yeah. And then just as a side note, the dishwasher. There's dishwashing detergent that you'd put into your actual dishwasher, your under-the-counter automatic dishwasher.
Also, most of those are really toxic.
Extremely toxic. And it'll
get baked lasagna without even rinsing it. Well, how do you think it's going to do that?
Well, there's hot water that goes through there. So the hot water, with as hot as it is, it disinfects all on its own. And hot water also breaks up grease. Yeah. So what I used to do is I would buy the really expensive dish soap pods, little capsules, and put them in. And I'd open up the dishwasher, and my dishes were covered in all this white, powdery, like bally things. So I'd end up having to wash them over again anyway. So I started thinking about the temperature of the water. It gets hot enough to disinfect. It gets hot enough to, do the grease. And so what I ended up doing was just putting in our dishes without any detergent. And they came out perfectly clean. Yeah. Even cleaner than if I would have spent all that money buying.
Well, I'd like to point out an overriding effect is we've been taught to be very afraid of we're afraid of everything has to be, like we're going to do surgery on it. Dirt and germs and stuff, it's everywhere. And in fact, the more you expose yourself and your kids to it, tempers your immune system. So number one, don't be paranoid. You don't have to bleach and disinfect every crook and cranny 24/7. You want to have a degree of hygiene, obviously. But just don't be afraid to use the natural products that do a darn good job. It worked for your grandparents, your great-grandparents. It worked for millennia. And it still works. Yeah. So go for it.
There hasn't always been an enormous aisle of cleaning products.
And I think the last thing we should talk about is just personal care products, just generally speaking. So your soaps, your shampoos, skin lotion, makeup, underarm deodorants. Folks, if you're buying the name brand commercial stuff.
Well, that could go into a whole nother. Maybe we can answer that next time because there's a lot of good tips that we have on that.
Okay, we'll make another show out of that one. But just for this question is be very cautious.
Got to question everything. Why are you doing it?
Your commercial stuff, it's all chemicals, and you're watching the Pantene commercials with the girl flipping her hair and looking all pretty.
I used to use Pantene.
Yeah, well, everybody did.
And even if it says organic, like we used to use organic shampoo that we would buy from Woolies, and without even taking the time to read the ingredients because it's organic.
You figure, hey, you got to read everything.
And it's full of chemicals, and it has, I think, an organic ingredient in it.
What? Yes. As we wrap up this FAQ, simply put is this: if it goes on your skin, where does it end up?
In the body.
In the body, in your bloodstream, right? So think about that as you're applying deodorant, as you're squirting your favorite skin lotion and smearing it all over yourself, and your sunblock as well. That's another one. Your makeup, ladies, and all those chemicals go into your body, and those are all the things we can control. There's already enough toxins in our environment that you can't control, so you might as well minimize it where you can.
That was a really good question, Amy. I appreciate you sending it in to us.
Yeah, and this is really critical. I think it kind of gets minimized, but when you see continuing rising rates of cancers and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and a lot of these things are linked to chemicals. So whether it's from your food, your cleaning products, your personal care products, you name it. So you want to be a conscious consumer because you want to have a super strong, kick butt, take charge family. I like to call that a renegade family. And you're listening to this because you are a renegade and you're not going to settle for mediocre or status quo. You're going to kick some butt and have a great life. This is Dr. Todd and
Carolina
signing out. We wish you all the best. God bless. We'll catch you on the next show.
I love you, Daddy. We're counting on you. My mom is a renegade.
Thanks for tuning in to Renegade Radio. If you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a rating and review. Also, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TRFTribe. Please email us your questions for FAQ Friday, and we'll do our best to answer them in a future show. Simply email us at faq@therenegadefamily.com. If you got value from this episode and know someone else that would benefit from it as well, please share it with them.
Changing the world is going to start in your house. This is Dr. Todd, and from my family to yours, we wish you all the best. God bless, and we'll catch you soon.
Renegades, man up!